Hey everybody, welcome to They Call Me Perfectly Frank with your hosts, Rachel, me, and of course,
Frankie
i.e. Frankie. People talk about manifestation and creation and, you can create the life that you want to live, and it sounds so magical and wonderful. What is it, and how can people do it, and can we really all do this?
So let me start with something probably most of your mothers have said to you, at least Christian and Jews for sure. But I would say most of your parents have said to you, which was, be careful what you ask for.
I started telling my kids that.
Be careful. And they truly meant, be careful. Mm-hmm. Be careful what you ask for. I can't believe she's dating him at 13 years old. I hope she dies. Be careful what you ask for. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because when she dies, 4 or 5 years from now, did you play a role in that? Einstein has told us, science has told us, and these holy books that we call the Bible, which simply means book, have told us that nothing ever dies. In the very beginning, again, this Bible, God, who is supposedly speaking, tells us there is no beginning and there will be no end. When we speak of death, we're speaking of the death of this containment, this physical body. And even the mind in its containment to process this place called life. So we had The Secret come out, right?
Yeah.
And The Secret was pulling from all of this information they had acquired. And they didn't give us the biggest hint. They said, believe, and belief enough is not enough. And anyone that really puts their, I believe. It's that belief with that feeling.
Yes.
You must have the faith, first of all, that it's going to be so. And as any kind of faith, just like, yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen. It may not happen when you want it to, although you do have the power to dictate when it's going to happen.
Do you feel like people make the ask, they have the feeling of what it feels like? Because you do this with me a lot. Can you go through one of those exercises with everybody really quickly?
Sure, but I would tell you that what happens is people have the ask, and they can't get to the feeling, or they get to the feeling, but they don't buy the feeling.
They don't believe what they're right.
Right.
Exactly.
They don't buy it. And it requires this knowledge, this understanding. We have faith that we're going to wake up in the morning. We have faith that we're going to breathe. We have faith that our fingers are going to do what they... Why can't we have faith that we will be given what we ask for? You see, if we come from the concept, and by the way, religion tells you this. Most of these Christian, Jewish, even Hindu religions, and I believe even the Muslim religion will tell you, God lives inside of you as you. As you. God, the guy who created us, lives inside of me as me. If it's a guy for you, might be a girl, might be a pop bottle, I'm not sure.
Just waves of energy for me, but okay.
It could be your sexual organs, whatever it is for you.
Right.
If source energy created me, and we as human beings, men from a seed, woman from producing the flower of a baby, how can you not get that you created that? When we manifest, we forget, and we forget this way before manifestation, that we've been creating everything that's been happening in our life.
Even the bad stuff?
Oh, 100%. Some of it you're completely aware of. Some of it is coming from somebody else at you, but you haven't caught it. Yeah, no. I'm just going to neutralize that. The jealousy, the envy, the greed, the gluttony, the sloth, the, comparison.
Which is getting worse because of social media.
Can be getting worse because of social media. It's been being thrown at us. And so people with anxiety, as you expressed, they back up like, ooh, I can't do that anymore. And, I can't be me and look at it because of who I am, this is. When in fact, yes, it doesn't feel good. Although everybody needs it. And so instead people want to hide, put their head in the sand, and not really. Everybody has it. I don't have what I experience in my child that has anxiety. I don't have that neurological experience unless maybe a car's about to hit me and I go, oh, what I'm saying? I don't have it on the day-to-day. Life is very precious. You cannot be ruled by another human being. If you are ruled by another human being, how do you live life?
Well, and it's okay to be uncomfortable and live in that uncomfortable space. What I end up doing is go through every scenario in my head. And okay, I've gone through every scenario, every bad thing, every good thing. So what are we going to focus on? Am I going to focus on the good possibilities, or am I going to focus on the negative possibilities?
Right, but let's be clear. We've got comfortable with uncomfortableness. We must break away from that. Yes, many things arise in the uncomfortableness, but I'd rather be uncomfortable and compare myself to other people and find fault with myself and be uncomfortable, and instead I'm not going to go to the party because I'm uncomfortable. You understand? We need to be able to get more uncomfortable and go, I'm going to go to the party and feel like shit and feel fat. At least I'm going to put on an outfit. I'm going to feel good about it, and I'm going to go and have a good time. And then you go to the party and you forgot about all that stuff, and people are saying to you, oh my God, you look great. What did you do to yourself? And you're like, what, chopped liver before?
I'm smiling.
You know, that's what the negative person would go there as compared to going, wow, thank you. We're afraid to say thank you for a compliment.
Yes. That's the hardest for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's very hard. Why?
Well, I think if we do what we've talked about before, which is start loving ourselves first, then you would say, oh, yes, thank you. But it's hard because when you feel small and you don't feel like you matter,
I don't think we
how
don't
would you
love
accept the
ourselves.
compliment?
I think we forgot how to do the act of self-love. I think we love ourselves, but I don't think we do the act of self-love.
What's the act of self-love?
The act of self-love is, waking up in the morning and my kid is calling me and screaming, going, you know what, I want to go to the bathroom first. I'm going to take care of me. And then I want to wash my face. I know you need me. I get that. I need me. I need me. When I'm done taking care of me, I'll come and fill you up. I'll do what you need of me because you are now a reflection of me. But before that, they weren't a reflection, and that's why we get mad.
Right.
We get mad because I'm not reflecting me in you. Instead, I'm letting you reflect at me, and I didn't take care of me.
Right.
Right?
So then how do we manifest?
So we manifest, again, this simplicity thing, it's so simple. Although to create something you want to have happen in your life, the first thing that arises is clarity. Are you 100% clear on what you want? And I can tell you, everyone that has clarity creates their life. I know 100% for sure that I'm going to be a doctor. They're going to be a doctor. I don't care if they're dyslexic, ADHD, graduated high school with a 1.1 grade point average. They just high school couldn't wait to get rid of them. They become doctors. How come? Did they become geniuses? They were already a genius. They just didn't care.
They did the work.
They did the work, right? Or maybe they didn't do the work. Maybe the joy and the idea of understanding the human body and medicine, the chemicals that can make a difference, was so much fun. So much fun for me. Like, I'm so curious about that. There's clarity.
Okay. Pause that though, because there's clarity, and I also think people mix that up with what they think they should want.
Well, what happens
a lot of times I think that you feel, I want the big house and I want this. Do you really want that though? What is it that you want from that? Because if it's just to be happy, there's other ways to do that.
Right, but nobody said you were going to manifest that thing that was going to make you happy. We do it all the time. We, me, you, everybody. I think I want the big house. That's the point your mom said. Be careful what you ask for. Because there was clarity in wanting that big house. How it served you was a whole different story.
Okay.
And you can get there and go, okay, but that's the thing. For me, the most important thing in my life is not my children, it's not my husband, it's my happiness. That's the most important thing.
So we have clarity on what we want. You can pick something. What do we do with that now? What do I do?
Okay, well, so here, let me take you through this path. I decided to write a book. My mother came through, and I'm feeling her energy, and I'm, just talking about her. And so one of my mother's lines was, the man, he's stupid, right? And the ghetto, she's so bitch. A lot of people know me as Frances. Quite a few people know me as Frankie. And I have always been perfectly frank. The name suits me. I'm going to tell it like it is. It's fabulous in my office. Terrible at a party. I'm not good at the small talk. So I've written this book. I'm pretty dyslexic. And I'm going, I want to write this book. I can feel the energy from my mom. I have this woman comes into my life. I need someone to cook for me because I have a wonderful career. Cooking is not something I'm fond of. I need someone to cook for my family. I do a post on Facebook. A friend calls me up, says, reach out to this person. I reach out to her. I'm talking to somebody else like a week after she's coming over. She's coming over at this time, and I'm happy to be with her. She says, did you know that I was a writer? I said, when can you start? That was my words.
That's amazing.
She said, next week. She goes, I'm going to write you up a proposal. She wrote me up the proposal. I signed it. I paid. I said, because of the way I operate with money, I want to pay you monthly. I said, can I pay you monthly? She said, yes. We would sit together, and I would simply tell her the stories in my head, and she was my writer. Then a bunch of stuff happened. This was, I don't know, 2 years ago.
So was she cooking and writing for you?
She was cooking and writing for me.
Oh my goodness.
Then, a bunch of things happened. There were delays and things that happened, and I would get frustrated, and then I'd go, okay, I got to trust the process. It's going to happen all in good time. She had a friend that I had this idea of what I wanted the cover to be like. She had a friend, yellow is my favorite color. She designed this for me, and I loved it. I said, okay, let's start using this. Now, all of this delay, I said, okay, well, I don't know how it's going to happen, but my book's going to be a #1 bestseller. Now, mind you, it hasn't come out yet. Okay, so in my phone every day it says my book is published, my book is published, my book is published. And every night I imagine being on Good Morning America. And I imagine being here just from the title of the darn book, right? That's my thinking. Now, that may happen, they may not happen. But I feel it's happening. I believe that the book is going to serve people. People are also going to criticize me about the book.
Right.
I have to be able to take that, right? Or maybe not. I have a therapist that I absolutely love, so I might be calling her every day. They said this about me, they said that about me, Although it feels right to me, I trust the process. I'm looking forward to my book being a #1 bestseller. Then you come along. I do a podcast on keeping up with the Chaldeans. I'm just telling you the process.
Yeah, no.
How manifesting will actually bring things into your life that bring you closer to that manifestation. Okay? You come along, you see that podcast, you go, I want to produce you. I go, yeah. Okay?
Right.
And then we're talking about branding, okay? Now I'm talking to people that I'm the brand. What does that mean? Okay?
You don't need to know.
Anyways, my point is that's how manifestation happened. Okay. My children, okay? We get married. My husband really wants to try to have babies. I'm like, okay with that. I don't care. He goes, I said, well, he says, let's do one or the other. Either we adopt or we try to have babies. I say, okay, great. We're done having babies. He's like, you know what? Let's just have a life. I don't want to spend my whole relationship trying to have babies. I say, okay, fine. I'm still feeling these children with me. I feel 2 children with me. I can feel them. One day, 4 months after all the in vitros, 4 or 5 of them, he comes and he sits next to me on the floor and he goes, Frank, I think it's time for us to adopt. I literally fell on the floor, and then I went, wait, I'm sorry, could you say that again? What would you just say? He said, I think it's time for us to adopt. I felt those children. I knew, I was thinking maybe they're dogs. I don't know. I felt these 2 children. I didn't know if they were a boy or girl. All I felt was these 2 children with me. I did know they were tall. Honestly,
they are tall.
I did know that they were tall. I knew that they were tall. Right? Within 9 months from the day we finished our paperwork, we had our first child showed up. Beautiful, tall girl who is now 18 years old and just an amazing human being. And I get to be her mom. And then my son showed up in every way I wanted him to. And I get to be his mom. And people say to me, you did the kindest thing. Oh my God, you have no idea. I love raising kids. And don't get me wrong, I want to kill them. But I love them. I love them. I love having them. I love being the mom. I love caring for them. I'm way too good for them, and I wouldn't change a thing. I feel so blessed, so honored, because I believe they chose me. That was a manifestation, because I had clarity.
And you weren't holding on to, I can't have a baby, or I can't get
No,
pregnant.
I just felt
you
these
sort
children.
of let let that go and accepted.
That's the faith portion of it. So faith is a hard thing to conceptualize and to get. People think faith is the religion in which I believe in.
Right.
And faith is, in fact, a knowing. It's a trusting, right? I'm going to trust this energy, God, source energy, vibration, frequency, whatever it is for you. I'm going to trust that you're going to give me what I want. Not because I'm a great person, not because I did this or I did that. Do you really think these people that murder and cheat and lie and Osama bin Laden and everybody else didn't manifest those things? Their passion was so great, and there was no way nothing was going to get in their way. And you hear business people say, I'm going to do everything I can to get it. That's manifestation. Although you don't have to do everything. If you choose to have faith, like Miracle on 34th Street with Natalie Wood. Well, now they have it with another actress. Natalie Wood, little kid, okay? Her mom is a realist, right? Her boyfriend has faith, right? And so they're trying to save Santa, and her boyfriend tells Natalie Wood, just believe, just believe, just believe. And Santa even comes to her and says, I'm not sure I can give you what you want. And all she wants is a house and parents, right? They save Santa. They're driving home. And she goes, stop, Mom, stop. And they stop. And she goes running into this house. And she goes running upstairs. And she comes running downstairs. And she says, it's exactly as I told them, exactly. She goes, I have to run outside and see if there's a swing set. And they look and they notice Santa's cane by the fireplace. She runs outside and she sees this thing, swing set. That's the perfect example of manifestation. She didn't do this or do that. Everything aligned for her. This is frequency and vibration.
So what do people do when we've talked about the spiritual awakening, right? I now know I don't want to go to school to be whatever it is in business. I want to be an artist. And I tell my mom, I'm going to be an artist. And she says, what the hell is wrong with you? How do you stop the negative people from lighting that negative chatter in your head again? Because it's going to happen. I mean, everyone is choosing different paths now, right? I'm going to be a spiritual healer. Sure you are. What did they do?
If you stand in pride of what you do. I was at a relative's house the other day, and he heard the word massage and had so much shame about it, right? And I stood in pride. I said, I love what I do. I make a difference in people's lives. I help people. He said, do you do massage? I said, what I do is very much like massage. Very much. And I was proud. And he was like, okay. He stepped back and totally changed. He was still loving me. It's being clear, because when you have clarity, you're proud. It's that clarity. It's the clarity. It's being, and you'll see it. You see it every day, all day long, every day.
I see it more now that I don't watch the news at all. I've completely eliminated it from my life. I don't need it. It doesn't affect me at all. And then I don't compare myself to others on social media anymore. As soon as I sort of took a step back and took a step away from it, I've managed to have more clarity about what I want. And I think that's a huge deal. I think there's outside forces that are manipulating us to think a certain way. And once you sort of put that aside and sit with yourself and say, okay, what do I want? Magic happens, honestly. So can you walk us through a feeling? You've done this with me before. So in the other episode, we kind of walked people through a quick meditation. What about walking people through a manifestation meditation or moment?
So
how do we feel?
Yeah. So for those of you that like to write, I would say write down all the things you want.
That I want or that it is? I love the feeling of having.
No, we're manifesting now.
Okay.
We're not going back to what I already have.
Okay.
Okay? We're going, this is what I want.
Right, but shouldn't we feel what it feels like to have it?
We can't go there first.
Okay.
That's the end.
So there's baby steps.
There can be baby steps,
Right.
But soon there won't be. Like
Okay.
now, I manifest pretty quickly.
Okay.
I mean, you showed up. Honestly, okay? You have to know that. So, but writing stuff down helps you be clear, because a lot of people are, I'm not sure. And
Okay.
they're not sure because religion is wrapped around it. Or my mother told me I couldn't do this.
Right.
Or they're such rule followers. There's nothing wrong with any of those things.
Right.
Right? But where am I in this? What is my desire? Okay? Some women are perfectly okay with having, men that don't have to help them and they want to do all the work. Some women are like, I got to have a partner that's going to participate with me. It's okay. All of those things, that's the place I would get to. I'm going to back up just a minute. So you know how you drive someplace and you're listening to the radio and you're going, right? And that hurts and you change the...
Yeah.
It's the same thing with you. When you are manifesting and you're going in the wrong direction, stuff's going to happen to you that feels as icky as that sound. You're going to trip, you're going to fall, someone's going to say something nasty to you, it's going to throw you off track. In Catholicism, that's the devil. Okay? So it's going to throw you off track, right? And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, look, I'm back on track. I got this thing going. And so frequency and vibration are two different things. Vibration helps create this frequency. So the frequency, it helps bring in the vibration. The vibration comes when you have this smooth sailing thing, right? But they work simultaneously. They work with each other, okay? A vibration, you feel it, you stand, you go, ooh, look how that just shook. That vibration also creates a frequency. They work together. Everything works together.
So the journaling just sort of gets you in that...
In the clarity space.
Clarity space, kind of helps stop that negative mind chatter.
Right. I wouldn't call that journaling. I'm not suggesting you journal.
Okay.
I'm suggesting that if
down.
you're a writer, write it down. If you're not a writer, like myself, I'm not a writer, I might put it on tape, or I might just know it in my mind, right? And then of those things, pick the ones you like the most. I'm not going to give you a number. You might have only written down 3 things. What's the one you want the most? I want to get married. Let's get clear on why you want to get married. Because I want someone to love me, and I want to feel love from somebody, and I want to have a family, and I want to, I want society to be more accepting of me. It doesn't matter why you want this. It doesn't matter, including Osama bin Laden or anybody else that kills and murders people. Whatever, they created this. Nobody said creation happens only in this space. It happens in every space. Okay? It happens, and I'm doubting. Then what you doubt is going to happen.
So how would you walk a client through, like, Frankie, I just want to meet the man of my dreams and get married. How would I manifest that? How would you walk somebody through that process?
So I would walk them through it by, understanding why they want somebody in their lives. And then I would ask them, what does it feel like? What does it feel like to have this guy? Well, he's this tall and he looks like this. I go, get rid of all that. Tell me what it feels like to be with him. What does it feel like to you to be with him? Well, it feels like this. Is he financially secure? Yes. Is he just financially secure? Is he ambitious? No, I want someone with a stable job that has, insurance and has a 401k. And what's your relationship like? Oh, he looks at me. And a lot of women don't know this. So I'll go, do you feel beautiful when he looks at you? Yes, he makes me feel so beautiful. And how does he feel with you? Oh my God, he always tells me I really appreciate you, baby. And how do you fight? Do you guys know how to fight? Yeah, we fight pretty well. I like to blah, blah, blah. And he, but then we get it together. And, how do you handle your money? Do you handle Yes. What's it like to wake up with him in the morning? Oh, I love it. I love being intimate with him. I love the way he treats my family. I love the way my family likes him. I take them through a process. I'd like to tell you that's enough for most people, but it gets them to this understanding. For a lot of people, it's the repetitiveness of this. Once you manifest once, that shortens by 90%.
Yeah.
Once you manifest the first time, that shortens by 90%. But for most people, my observation has been they need the repetitive stuff. Sometimes we'll tape that same meditation. The problem is that meditation becomes mundane, right?
Right.
So they need to enhance it with something else, like, oh, yeah, I forgot that he has this red car, and I forgot that he likes to do the same things I do. And so we need to continue to build this picture.
Right.
But for a lot of people, like myself, I have more clarity. And the more you create and manifest, the greater your clarity becomes. So like my husband, I manifested him. I brought him to me. I said I wanted a man that was financially secure, that loved his work. It's important to me. I needed a happy man. I didn't want someone that I wanted. It wasn't a question of is he depressed or isn't he depressed? Could he find happiness wherever he was? I wanted someone that had lots of hair on their head, not too much hair on their body. I had a thing at that time, right? I wanted somebody who his family loved mine, my family loved his, that he was financially secure, that he could keep me in a lifestyle that I wanted to be in, or that I had kept myself in. I wanted someone sexually compatible, that my belief system was acceptable to him. He didn't have to believe in what I believed in, but he had to accept my lifestyle, my belief system, my so on. When I was younger, had a thing about straight teeth and shoes. And I didn't ask for children, by the way, in my manifestation. But I created this sweet, completely opposite. This guy that adored me, made me feel like, he still makes me feel like I'm the most precious being, okay? He's got, it's just wonderful. And he makes me feel like he loves the way I love him. And that's something I asked for in my manifestation. I want somebody that I love to love. And I want someone that loves loving me. That was important. So we meet. I'm not sure that he's a nice guy and all. Anyways, as the relationship grows, we are realizing how much we love each other, right? And so then I realized I didn't ask for children. I didn't ask for good shoes. I didn't ask.
You're like, damn it, I forgot.
So I created again. And I got my children. Those were more important than his teeth or his shoes. And I created again. And by accident, his dentist he just had one tooth that was taken out. By accident, his dentist shaved the tooth. And he said, okay, now we have to put a cap on it. I got the guy with straight teeth.
Oh my God. And shoes you can buy him.
And shoes, yeah, they were.
You're like, honey, I'm taking you shopping.
Right. I got so much more than what I asked for. I got a man that was happy to take care of me, that treated me like the princess I am. And I told him, listen, you need to know I'm a princess. And he didn't believe me. And then one day he says, what does that mean? I said, I treat me really good. I can't have somebody in my life that can't treat me at least as good as I treat me. And believe me, we've been through stuff, but I wouldn't trade him for the world. I wouldn't. And I created him. He was also creating me. Do you understand? That was the frequency and the vibration. My thought created the frequency. And actually, it was more the vibration first. It was more there was this vibration. And then it got him. And then the frequency brought us together. So
he didn't know
he may have not been conscious. Yeah, he didn't know consciously, maybe, because men operate differently than women.
Right.
Okay, they don't think like us. We think. Their mind chatter errs on something a little bit different than what our mind chatter errs on. So we generally create the space. Men do too, though, but women seem to want more than men want in a different way.
That's the next episode.
Okay. So, yes, we can go through a meditation, but honestly, it's not even a meditation.
But the way you've talked me through it before, I feel like people need to hear it, because there's one thing to say, like, oh, ask what you want. But when you walk me through that feeling, it totally clicks for me.
So a guided meditation, I mean, how much time do we have?
We'll do
a quick
brief
guide.
version of it that people can keep,
right. So I like to start with emptying out first, that sigh like that. Oh, yeah.
Do I have to make the noise?
No. There is something about the noise, though, that's very effective.
No, there is.
So I'm going to say yes, make the noise. It's a sigh. It's a, I'm going to get that out. And then again, just this time I'm just going to have us take one breath because of time. So inhale from your nose, taking all the air you can. Open up your hands. Again, open up your palms to the ceiling. Open up your body. Uncross anything that's uncrossed and let the oxygen flow through your body. And then as you exhale to an 8 count, letting out all the air. And then keep going. Let everything deflate and feel your body just get relaxed. And now I want you to imagine how good it feels to have met somebody that you really like. And imagine that on the first date, he's so respectful and honorable. Not only is he that way, you don't put yourself in a compromising position. And he takes you home and he kisses you goodnight. And you're like, oh my gosh, I had the best time. And the next day, he actually calls you. You're like, oh my God, this is so cool. He likes me. Paint the picture. Imagine that you like each other. Imagine that you feel good with him and he feels good with you. You like the way he looks. And you notice that the second time you're with him, you liked him more than the first time. And you feel fabulous. And he treats you with respect and honor and dignity. And I'm saying these things because a lot of women don't know what that feels like. And a lot of men have no idea how to do it. Just know that you feel good in that situation. And imagine now it's 5 months later. And the more you went out with each other, the more you liked each other. And he looks at you and he says, I think we need to get married. It's only been 5 months. And you're like, whew, I don't know. Let's wait. He says, okay, I'll wait. You say, yeah, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, but whew, let me breathe a little bit. Let's enjoy this part. And now it's 1.5 years. And he actually gets on his knee and creates this awesome experience. And he has somebody videotaping it. And he asks you to marry him. And it's out of the clear blue in your mind. And you're like stunned, of course. I look forward to marrying you. And you guys get married. And you have a good relationship. You figured out how to do the dance of relationship. You've got to know each other's family. And you're really liking it. And you're so happy that you met the man of your dreams. And your future is even brighter than what you've experienced. How's that feel? Now go ahead and just take in a breath. Stretch out your body. Oh, and open up your eyes. That's experience. Experiential.
You literally painted a picture.
You literally
It wasn't just, I want a man who treats me nice.
Right.
You painted a picture.
And the picture for you is going to last, is going to feel great. And then things are going to happen. You're going to go to a bar, you're going to meet somebody, and you're going to be, oh, I feel like shit. And that dream can go away. If you can keep coming back to that dream and then continue to paint a different picture. What's it like to wake up in the morning with him? What's it like to tell him I'm pregnant? You know, what's it like to have him take your mom shopping when he just got done from work and he didn't tell me? And you're like, you're taking my mom shopping?
Is part of that process to get you into the good feeling place, to make you come back to yourself so you realize in this moment I'm feeling those same feelings and I can have it now, the feeling of, without the man. Does that make sense? So if it comes, great, but I've had these wonderful moments of imagining it.
No. What you did is you just set out the vibration, okay, to create you literally sent out this vibration. Someone is going to catch it. Let's say God already had a plan for you, this source energy. That person is going to catch it because you're ready. That person caught it, and now you two are coming together. Vice versa, too.
Right.
But not only that, it's also teaching you to love yourself. What does love look like for me?
Right.
We've heard for years, you know, you got to love yourself. Well, what does that look like? Instead, what you've been telling me is be kind to other people. Don't treat other people poorly. You know what? Make sure that they like you. And all of a sudden, I'm a people pleaser. How about a me pleaser?
Right.
And it's not to negate another person or to be selfish. It's to nourish yourself first so that when I nourish me, I have so much more to be able to nourish you. If I'm in a funky mood, don't talk to me. I don't know you, you don't know me. That is not good nourishment. I don't want to give that out because that's what I'm giving out. Well, what if I took that time and said, okay, you know what? It's okay. You're entitled to have a bad day. It's fine. Go sit and cry. My daughter comes up to me and goes, Mom, what's wrong? I don't know, honey. I'm just feeling terrible. And she puts her arm around me and she loves me. What about that?
One more thing with manifestation that I'm working on is being in the receiving mode. I think I've figured out my clarity. I've figured out how to feel it and ask and have the faith that I know it's coming in. I know. But then how do I get in receiving mode?
No such thing. It's going to go. It's going to catch you. It's going to bring it.
Okay.
you're overthinking it when you get in you're not being filled with faith. You're not being that person that in that knowing place, like it's a done deal. This dude, Jesus Christ, said, ask believing. By the way, in the early Testament, before Jesus Christ came in to show us whatever he came to show us, God said, first it is a thought. This is the secret. Then it manifests. First it is a thought, and now science has found that the soul is your brain. What does the brain do? Do you think that you touching that hot plate was not a manifestation? You were curious, so you touched it. You manifested what it felt like to touch that. You didn't know it. That's why I say to you, when you get to this feeling place, even though you weren't always treated really well, and you get to this feeling place and you go, and he treats me really well and he makes me feel fabulous, you're creating something you never experienced before. You see, because most of us don't know that. We don't know that we can consider ourselves first, and there, in that space, be even better to other people. And it's not about, do you like me or do you not like me? It's about, do I like you? Can you serve me in my life? And doesn't make that person wrong or bad or nasty. People say, oh, he's terrible, you should leave him. He's not terrible, he behaved poorly. And do I want to repeat that behavior? I don't want that behavior repeated. So you can either choose to stay and keep getting slapped, you can walk away. The sooner you walk away, the better for you. They say the first time, shame on them, the second time, shame on you. Most people, but it's hard to walk away after the fifth time because I'm so anxious, I want somebody.
Right.
And that's what gets in our way. And the reason it gets in our way is we haven't nourished ourselves. So we allow people to treat us poorly. Notice how I said that? We allow them to treat us poorly. We did that. We played a role, and the role is, I'm going to let you keep hitting me, I'm going to let you keep hitting me, I'm going to let you keep hitting me. Instead of going, I got to go.
We're done.
I got to go, or somebody help me, please. We become ashamed. Okay, it's this rape. It's terrible. Women feel, or men feel ashamed that somebody raped them, whether they stole from their house or physically abused them. And then we internalize it and we blame. And there's no blame. Girlfriend, get out. Boyfriend, get out. Get out. Stop blaming and go, shit, I have power over me. I don't have to stay for this. And then money becomes a problem. Well, I don't want to get out because of the money. Girlfriend, you can find your way.
Right.
Okay? Money shows up. I'm telling you, money rains on me. And when I come up with a number, it rains. It rains. And it rains in a form of Rachel showing up, or Sherry showing up for the book, or my children showing up, or my husband showing up, or Carson showing up. Right? And we don't stop and pay attention.
Right.
That's it.
So it's just paying attention.
Everything we will discuss in every podcast, the most difficult part about it is it's simple.
All right. Oh, deep breaths. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. So theycallmeperfectlyfrank.com is the website. If you want to book time with Frankie, you can go through that site. If you have questions specifically for the podcast, we'd love to hear them and address them in future episodes. So theycallmeperfectlyfrank.com. Fill out the contact form, and we may be in touch with you in the future.
And thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love you. I look
I love
forward
you
to doing more podcasts and getting a bunch of questions.